Chilly here with Sirius Talis Moon. This is Jupiter hour Venus day. Ascendant with Procyons. Applying to square Chiron, Jupiter, 19 degrees Cancer. And the moon applying to moon 25 degrees Capricorn. Can it be? So what chart was I looking with the moon? The moon at 29 degrees. I was recording, but it was a moon hour. Anyway, moon 25 degrees. I thought it was 29. Midheaven just crossing Saturn in Aries now. Venus, Gemini, Mercury, Taurus. I want to talk about the feminine because one of the things I noticed is that not only standing to one's inner child, something that is weird in a profitable city-based society, anything that's connected to the feminine. I bet men suffer that too. I bet men dealt with that too, whether gay or straight. Anything that connects with the feminine. Basically, if a woman wears dresses well, whether she puts on light makeup or doesn't put on a makeup, and she be well dressed or she cares to connect with the feminine, then people around what they think that she's in for profit. Why? Because all these people were raped as toddlers, so all they know, and they don't tend to that because it's overwhelming, so all they know is that a woman that looks good, even if it's a man connecting, is well dressed, that, I don't know, likes the pink palette, I don't know, they probably be thinking he a lover boy. Because the concept woman doesn't exist, because the concept even child doesn't exist, and the concept human being doesn't exist. But this society was looking at people as, the barcodes. Government looks at the population and say, oh, we are in a demographic threat. No, you're not. You're the same culture. You want to distinguish yourself? Abolish rape and see how, when we think about a new species, then there is inbreeding. By the way, I'm a bit worried when I see a lot of these things, when people talk about, let's say, Uganda. Then people said, oh, we're traditional people and so on and so forth. We're traditional. It is traditional, and they talk about Jesus. It's not tradition. That's colonialism. But no, but they talk about, the soil where the tongue, where the cow dung is antiseptic. Not meaning, oh, it's so clean you can eat the cow dung. It is used as antiseptic and to maintain the house as pesticide. They say sweet scenting. I don't know. In Netherlands, the organic cow dung might have worms in it. So I know from the people that work in the farms. Now, I'm not able-bodied, so I couldn't work myself, and probably good, because it's usually a lot of this food in art is a lot of human trafficking. It's rape industry, to be exact. We're thinking, I think around the Me Too, it was kind of like, oh, should we go vegan? Should we de-rape our food by going vegan? Now, definitely buying a Manchego that has a brand that tends to a breeding that's not by this artificial stuff is not a bad thing, but also thinking about your avocados. Both type of rape harm the ecosystem. Um, Also, the condition of the cattle, and then is the question, like, should we tend to the condition of the cattle or should we go vegan? I don't know. We really don't know the world without rape, so we haven't. Yesterday, I had this argument with my mom because she was scared as fuck, and I'm like, what can you do when you have to abolish rape? That's what I'm cleansing from the body. That's what I'm detoxing from. Now, as every person, she was also raped. Not even by, something we think about, something gruesome or something this or something that. People did not really know what sexuality was, so the body was not even. There are societies where people don't want to hear education. Or when in my age they would teach about, I don't know, at best they would teach about condoms because of disease. Then my teacher had an abortion, and I had a funny joke about childhood, and I was like dissociated, and I first said it, and then afterwards I thought that I'm feeling weird. Only in the afterward I understand why I was feeling weird. That's dissociation, folks. Whereas the mommy knows best sketch about the about orgasmic birth. The fact, yeah, the fact that we even need to laugh about it because we don't really know what to do. So she was like, "Don't eat all this food you pick up from the field." I'm like, the food bought at the store might have, the fruits and the vegetables are watered by the water that, that everybody takes the water down when they poop. Biodiesel components, I don't know. I told you the Amer Costa Rica story. I was running away from violence during COVID. So try to find a place to stay. You don't want to be a burden on the family you had to take space from for the well-being of the connection. And you say, what, I'm an adult, I should be able to manage. Then you find a spot, let's say one of the spots the guy grows a weird, I don't know what he grows. You say, yeah, they have friends that are weapon traders. I say, I got to be out of there. And he's a father. Now, I bless him for giving me a place to stay, but who knows, he was not thinking to kidnap me. Then I go, it was a Friday. I wake up and it's a morning walk into the field. I try to drink the water there because I took a water bottle. I fill the water. It looks kind of weird. Now, in that situation, you drink first, and then I'm like looking at the bottle. I'm like, that's not drinking water. It was not oil. I'm like, that's the Israeli-made agriculture for export that we. The fruits are looking amazing. And it tastes good. But heck, I don't know what's in it. And the working conditions are such that now you can't say slavery because the person that has the right to have agriculture in the land, yeah, they have a big mansion with the missiles all the time. They have been working in slavery conditions, so go tell them that that's. Now, kind of like think about it. When your boss is killing themselves, how do you fight for labor rights? You have to convince them to stop unaliving themselves with work. And then they have to deal with all the tolerate that they're running away from. That's what they're working because they cannot rest. I hit too many chords right now, I know. And and they feel they have a secondary trauma from your condition, you have a secondary trauma from their condition. Let me tell you something. One of the things I tried to meet after COVID, I had to separate from a friendship of 10 years. I don't know, they got more to the fraternities, I guess. I got more to try to live life. And they had to release something and said, "You are a post-trauma." I said, "I know." There wasn't even the point of trying to say, "Yeah, you too," and so on and so forth. It's kind of like, dude, that's life. I was thinking to unalive myself. It wasn't available. And it's kind of like somebody seems like it's not nice to say it. It's not nice to say it, but it's also mutually true. In every relation. What they did, what it didn't do, it's on them. It's their thing to solve. Um, I say if people do a lot of these things, it's going to be a bomb. But this is where um, this is where we think about the society. And a society where people can't even be. Of course, that society, it's like a boiling, it's not a melting pot. And when you think that the concept of melting pot was exactly these times that we live in today, it's a moldy pot, and everybody needs to. Eventually, they break down. They break down and they need to heal, and then when they actually begin to heal, it's like even they don't know if it is healing or they're gonna die. With any method of healing. Because it's not the, of course, and here's the thing with sadhana. Sadhana reminds us that we're a part of the cosmos, and we are also an important part of the cosmos. The rape of a person that works in an avocado field and the rape of the cow and the living conditions of the cows and the living conditions of the people, both are, Hitler was a vegetarian. Um, both are equally not ecosystemic. You think about the desire to have a population growth. By the way, COVID had its baby boomers. There are the COVID babies. Some say they grew up adults. There were these shorts about the babies of the COVID. They all look like old soul. I don't know if it's true or not, but Pluto in Capricorn. Um, we last had the boomers. I talked about Bill Gates. That was the bringing condition. They had to feed the babies. There was nobody to grow the babies. And then the boomers grew to think that that's parenting. Now the good thing is they were, how do you say, they were not stifling their kids. Um, the challenge is that we have 60 years old, 50s, 60s years old toddlers. Some of them were ritually raped by the astral even. What they didn't know, they didn't know. Then we have these adults that don't understand anything from anything. They grew up with whatever culture. Um, and then they just think, okay, we want a population boom. Basically, the boomers want the baby boom. Believing that they turn out fine. Now they're really loving people. They're also practically loving. They love you with the right advice for investment or with. And then when people talk about, okay, we need to abolish rape, they're like, they don't know what to do about it. It's too big. It's too. They lived entire life with it. Some of them stayed single because they want their freedom. They don't want to be raped, but they can't say, they don't even have a word for that. Because like that's not rape. Rape is like, with war and stuff like that. And then I was like, okay, well that is also it. Wait a second, but that happens. What about the married people? Or what if this person has no money? But what about? And all of these things that they try to comprise with whatever they had, exposing the depth of the trauma. And then the actually practical, reasonable thing, which is like kind of like, here we want to abolish rape. You see, underground, when you clean that shelter, it is to underground are tunnels. But in hospitals, what's happening? And then it's kind of like it begins, and then everybody's overwhelmed. There's like, don't that thing that you pick out there, only bought food. Like what, I did not have money for food in university. I was trying to purge the rape. There's no trauma-informed medicine, no trauma-informed anything, because the entire economy is based on creating trauma and then cashing in on that trauma. And then the desire to grow a baby generation after the Me Too. Have an entire generation that grew with no parenting whatsoever, not knowing anything about anything. And even those that weren't in secret societies, like that was their life. That which we wish to extinct with a nuclear bomb. Now, we're not the only one wishing to extinct with a nuclear bomb. Think about Bill Gates. What was he litigated for? Being a boomer that turned out just fine and runs the world. Now they want to have to double the population by 2036. I'm going into the euthanasia business if that's the case. I mean, they're going to apply for it by the masses. It's going to be in top demand. They're not going to be able to pay for that. You got to have to loot a war criminal and kill all the babies that he boomed because they want to unalive themselves. And now they're not, Gen Z had a word for it. Gen Alpha did it. What's the next generation going to do? Some of you listeners are parents to that next generation. Now, I know the people that are parents are not parents because there's a baby boomer. And this is why these parents know best, because they know what the boomers really are, generation of. And even the people that really wanted to have kids, they did not really know what's going on there. It's kind of like you do something, a baby comes out. Some people say it's supposed to feel really good, and then the opinions differ. We had Jordan Peterson thinking women don't like sex. No, women don't like rape. And then we had a funny generation. Think about the people who grew up with the Uranus Taurus, trying to connect to the feminine. Uranus going to Gemini. Well, of course. I mean, if you're still a toddler trying to be the divine feminine, it's kind of a self-abuse. It's not our fault. We were unaware. Shabbat shalom. Thank you. And more Jupiter candles. Now, I just think about the people that were born into families where the scripture read that birth is punishment. Think about the children. One of these children tried to harm me. It's like 10 years after. Why that energy hasn't resolved, And then you look into the birthing issues. I think they did not become a parent. Some of the boomers did not become parents. And then they themselves try to think, when I'm a millennial now I'm 42.
Look good.
They have to deal with their own shit, kind of like, that they chose not to become parent, but they don't necessarily want me not to become parent, or if I'm next to them, and all these questions. I'm like, I need to tend to my inner child. Or if a woman, looks like a woman, and everybody thinks everybody thinks she's making money out of this. And they're like, no, it's not wrong. I'm not judging. He was like, yeah, but. And it doesn't even go through the filter because they had to fight for when people were judging. And they're like, what are you, like a nun? Or like, what's going on there? And like, no, our generation need to abolish rape. What you hadn't abolished, now we have to tend to that.